Hey everybody, it is your Sam again, and we are back in Campfire. Today I'm going to go over the Welkans a little bit. I know we covered a lot whenever we did TASP because, yeah, longest video ever, right? Right. So we're going to go over here to the world building pack, down to species, and this is where I have the Welkans. So the Welkans are the second race created for the world of Omno Hero. They were actually the first race I created as a writer, but they are the second race that the gods, the powers that be, created. Their average lifespan is 140 years. And their average height is about 6 feet. They go a little bit taller than 6 feet usually, so in between 6 and 7 feet. Average weight is anywhere between 120 and 220 pounds. Welkans are a race that feeds off of the sun and fire and some air elements as well. So they like sunny places and usually hot places too, but they also like mountaintops. So if you've ever been in the snow on a mountaintop, you know that the snow reflects the sunlight as well as, the sun kind of beating down on you even though it's cold. So Welkans still kind of like that because of all the light that's there. So their habitats are mostly plains and riversides, mountaintops and islands and beaches. Those are their favorite places. Now they do come a bit inland every now and then just for space purposes and being near other civilizations and other cities and stuff like that for convenience of products and tools and stuff that they can use and socialization and all that good stuff. History and origin. Welkans were the creation of the gods, especially the sun and fire gods. Their weaknesses are of course dark areas, especially if they're stagnant rooms or dungeons or something like that. There's hardly any light, there's hardly any fire. Welkans actually used to be enslaved. I'll get into the reason why a little bit later, but humans and Stygra and even some rogues kept them in enclosed spaces like dungeons and basements or windowless rooms like in the center of houses. And they didn't allow very many fireplaces in there really, maybe a couple of candles, but that was about it, just to keep the Welkan alive, keep the Welkan able to perform, but not really be able to fight their way out. Another weakness, which can also be seen as a strength, is their love of their family. If a Welkan considers you family or loves you like family, then you're set for life. They're very overprotective. They tend to harm the person or species or whatever that is harming their family member before they even ask questions. Getting into a little bit of why Welkans were enslaved. I'm not going to go too much into this just in case kids actually do manage to watch this, but for reproduction, Welkans were enslaved, the males especially, for their prowess and intercourse. Females resemble humans in reproductive parts. Males do resemble humans as well, but their balls are on the inside of their body, not on the outside. And that's all I'm going to say about that really. Males are rather well endowed, not in size sense, but in the ability to pleasure. I'll let you read the book to find out. So growth stages. In the womb, females can actually hold their child in their womb for as long as they feel is needed. During the time of enslavement, females were actually known, if they did manage to get pregnant, which was rather rare at this time. The Welkan race is on the rebound from becoming rather rare because they weren't allowed to mate with each other to produce offspring all that much. So during the times of battle or war or stress, females can keep their child within them until they deem it safe or until they feel that it will be okay to have a child. From birth to toddler stage, it's usually up to about 5 years of age. The Welkan cannot, the toddler cannot wield powers, which is very unlike the Steiger, because the Steiger kind of come out able to soak up the darkness and moonlight and things, but they fully rely on adults to care for them, much like a human child. And teen is anywhere from about 6 to 21 years. They don't really think of themselves as having a child stage or a preteen stage. So the teen years are considered anywhere between 6 years of age and 21 years of age. This is where they begin being able to soak up the sun and fire powers and coming into their own. They learn the ways of their people. They're in school. They learn history. They learn how to sunbathe to not burn themselves out on power and to not pull too little power that they can't function properly. They learn war and combat. They start very early on in learning ways of combat and their power control and cooking and survival and also politics. So when they hit the adult, they're usually about 22 years of age to about 90-ish. They are part of the tribe fully. They have to pull their weight. So they usually are given jobs, that their talents and what they love doing, that's what they do for the community. So say someone is a good blacksmith, so they become kind of the blacksmith of the town, or they help the blacksmith that's already there kind of thing. And they take over when the blacksmith becomes an elder or something like that. When their leader or legace calls upon them, they go to battle, no questions asked. That's what their legace is there for, is for protection, for community, for familial things. And they keep all their skills fresh. Like we go back to the blacksmith. Even though they're a blacksmith, they still practice combat, they still practice sunbathing, they still practice creating shields, they still practice everything that they have learned from their teen years just to keep it fresh, keep themselves apt to do just about anything just in case something happens to them and they can't be a blacksmith anymore. Elders are from 90-ish till death. These are like most elders in most societies. They're the teachers. If they're still able to move well, they're actually the most powerful of the Welkans because, all that knowledge, all that practice, all those years. They are greatly feared and respected, especially if they are wise or decorated warriors. Now, of course, there are going to be some elders that are kind of crazy or they lose their mind or something like that. But they're still held in some form of respect and they're still cared for. Like I said, their family means everything to them, even if they have a crazy uncle that they can't stand. Skills and abilities, because they are like a sun and fire people, their powers kind of range around that. They can create like a shield of light, depending on how much power they have soaked up or have in store, or their abilities is how big or how decorated or how dangerous their shield can be. Some can make it out of complete fire where it doesn't burn them or their fellow warriors, but any enemy that touches it, they go up in flames. Others, it's kind of like a clear glass light shield, kind of like looking into sunlight. Others, it's a very shiny metallic looking thing, has some filigree on it or something like that. Maybe it burns to the touch or something, but yeah, some have very sharp edges and they can use their shields as weapons as well. Fire is, of course, a given. Some of them can do like fireballs or fire blades, or they can create a wall of fire around them, just anything like that. I have one Welkan who actually creates a ball and chain with a fireball at the end and a chain made of fire, and he swings that around whenever he's in battle, and it's quite devastating. Healing. Welkan healers are kind of the best healers for superficial wounds and fevers, as they can draw the heat and burn the infections out. It's mostly surface healing though, so anything like an infection in the gut or a cancer or anything like that, they can do some things with it, but that's more Stygra level healing or Stygra style healing. And these races tend to work together now that, you know, the treaty has been signed and nobody's enslaved anymore. Welkans do have a lot of stamina. I have another character that I have created. He is a messenger and he runs faster than a horse. And he can run for longer than horses can. Welkans are good with stamina. They're good with storing and keeping and burning energy. If they have sunlight or fire near them, then they can keep on going, kind of like the Energizer Bunny, if not longer, probably longer. Welkans do have a few rules that they keep. It's kind of like their laws that they are taught from birth. They're not written down anywhere, but they're just understood by every single Welkan. Only curse those of unforgivable abominations. Burn to ash that which will replenish. Give light to darkest hours. Forgive when able, absolve when not. Welkans can lay curses or blessings as well. I actually kind of forgot that. So I'm going to put that in here. So curses and blessings. The curses and blessings that Welkans give are based upon their powers and what they want that person to have. Right at the first of the book, Tasp gives Nadasha a blessing before she leaves to go to the capital, and this blessing is to protect her, because Welkans are very protective of their family. It's to protect her from elemental harm. So what it does is, if Nadasha finds her in a snowdrift, she's not going to really get frostbite. She might be cold. She's not going to freeze to death or anything, because Tasp laid that blessing on her. Blessings and curses alike form themselves on the body of the person that they give it to in the form of a tattoo. It looks almost mandala, depending on the curse or the blessing, how intricate it is. And it does have script, Welkan script in it, so that people can actually read what the curse or the blessing is if the wearer or bearer allows them to, or it's in a spot that's easily seen. That is a quick little rundown of the Welkan race. I hope you enjoyed it. And maybe I'll build on this a little bit later. I think the next one that I'm going to do in this series is the rogues. The rogues are probably going to be split into 2 different videos, just because there are subspecies of the rogue. In order to go into all that, it'll probably be 2 videos. So yeah, look forward to that one. That will be coming out next Sunday. I guess I should try to teach or say something about my patterns. So on Sundays, I'm trying to go over my work in progress and give you a little sneak peek and taste of something that I'm working on. This series is, of course, on I'm No Hero, so every Sunday is going to be a little bit about I'm No Hero as I continue to work on it, as I continue to edit it before I put it off to critique partners and beta readers and all that good stuff. So yeah, I hope you enjoy these. If you would like more videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I will be doing videos every Sunday and Thursday. I do live streams every Tuesday and Thursday. And yeah, as always, keep writing, be kind to one another, and smile about something today. And I will see you next time.